In America, 42.31 million people live in poverty.
That's 13.7% of the U.S. population.
Growing up, living was minimum. Money was lethal.
Close enough for rent, never enough for food.
Growing up, simple things had to be replaced with less. At age 6, no money to buy milk, so we had our cereal with water. Only cheap dinners like pasta, no juice or snacks. Only cheap essentials to live. How is it fair?
Growing up with a single mother, our income was confined. Living was improvised. We did what we could with the little we were left with. Close enough for rent, never enough for heat. Growing up, the house was cold. At age 6, only blankets kept me warm. Harsh winter, we could manage to open the hot stove for heat. Most days I had dry ramen and cereal. Stale snacks we tried to make last. Only cheap essentials to live. How is it fair? Only 6 years old with mothers battling with the system just to keep us healthy and off the streets. How is this fair? More than 8.6 million people don't have access to consistent food or qualify for food stamps.
At 15, my family finally qualified for food stamps. Weekly trips to the local food pantry, taking food for the 4 of us. Still not enough for living. Even so, stepdad abusing drugs, mom having to carry a house with 3 kids. Some nights I would go without food just so my brothers could eat. How is it fair?
At 15, mom still made just above food stamp qualifications. By the time she gets her paycheck, the government has taken most of it, leaving us hardly enough to pay for our rent. Abusive stepdad was kicked out. Mom picked up 2 jobs carrying me and my sister. Landlord had to lower rent, asking family for money. My friends' parents bringing us food. I stopped eating so we didn't have to ask so much, and so my sister could eat every day. How is it fair? 22.2% of children in the Ithaca population today live in poverty.
Every day, people watch you living in poverty, not caring enough
to know what we did in order to play the role of living. Now, how is that fair?
Today I live with my grandparents, no longer worrying if we can afford food and necessities. Today I'm learning what a stable life is, with myself and only myself to worry about. Soon it'll be my turn to deal with the system, and I'm scared. How is it fair?
Today I live with 2 parents, no longer am I involved with money problems. Today we have just enough to live. Now there are 2 more kids to provide for, as well as me and my sister. Soon it'll be my turn to deal with the system, and I'm scared. How is it fair? We are aware we are luckier than some, but we still went through poverty most of our lives, and some still go through it today. Poverty is not fair.
Communities of color often brushed off.
Your income is what matters before the government gets their hands on it.
Food stamps is barely enough for 2 weeks of groceries.
Poverty isn't always living, it's surviving.
So we ask you,
how is it fair?